The pastor rose and made his way to the palace. He stood before the king and the elders, their faces pale with realization. Then the pastor spoke solemnly. "Let me tell you what your ancestors did 100 years ago. Umunnachi wasn't always peaceful. In those ancient days, a chilling tradition reigned. Every firstborn son was sacrificed to the river goddess on his 18th birthday. In exchange, the village would flourish. Abundant harvests, wealth and power. The village of Umunnachi followed this tradition, even though it didn't favor most of them, because some people had an only son. And when the only son is killed, their lineage will obviously close, because there was no male son to continue the line. Men tried their very best to marry as many wives so that they could have as many sons as they could want, offering only the first son as sacrifice. Every year, on a special day, the boys would tie black wrappers around their waists and line up by the riverside. One by one, they were offered to the river, tears in their eyes, but chains in their hearts. The priestess of the village would prepare them for the sacrifice. Their mothers would cry heavily. But what can they do? They cannot defile the great river goddess. The priestess would chant, and one by one, they would enter the river. The river would open its mouth and swallow them whole. But peace built on blood was never true peace. Many families were destroyed, lineages were cut off. Then one day, a missionary pastor arrived in Umunnachi, sent by his senior pastor. He came to preach salvation, but what he found was darkness. The Holy Spirit stirred him, and he began preaching against the sacrifices. Slowly, broken families joined him. The chain of fear began to crack. They prayed, they fasted, and on the day of the sacrifice, no son entered the river. The goddess, furious, rose from the water and crushed the village, but the pastor stood his ground, invoking heaven's power. There was a final clash, and she was defeated. But before she disappeared into the depths, she screamed, "One day I will return. I will come back stronger, and I shall have my revenge, and your sons will pay," and then disappeared into the river. The villagers were scared, but the pastor assured them that nothing would happen, and so they continued living their life, praising God for saving them. Back to the present, the pastor looked the king in the eye. She returned, true Isabella. She was prepared to take her revenge now, and Isabella came at the perfect time, so she used her for her revenge.